I do want to make sure that we introduce some folks that are around here. First of all, Morris, you wave. Morris Matson's back here in the back. Morris,
Hey, Morris.
He was the receptacle for the memory that kind of kicked this whole thing off with the desires of Ann Burnett Tandy and Charles Tandy to plant cherry trees around the confluence of the West Fork and the Clear Fork of the Trinity River. But that wasn't exactly practical right now, so anyway, that helped us with the vision for this. Also at Melinda Adams, our city forester is here.
Hey.
One of her bosses, Sandra Youngblood, Assistant Director for Parks and Recreation Department at the City of Fort Worth. I tell you, the city has been terrific partners with us on this, both from approving planting locations to providing trees and helping us with get things done in the park, and we really do appreciate all of that cooperation. And in a moment, I'm going to ask Melinda just to say a few words. Now, I may mess this up, but Sung Young, is that correct?
Young Sung.
Young Sung. Okay, sorry, I got it backwards. If you'll raise your hand and wave, he happens to be the property owner where we're standing. And so his land will be the beneficiary of the 1,000th tree right here. But we appreciate him allowing us to plant here and participating in our program. Paul, if you'll wave your hand, Paul has been
Hey.
we call him the chief planting officer of the organization, and he has organized and just really facilitated the planting of these 1,000 trees. He's sort of trying to retire from that job, and Nick Stone, who's just walking up, he along with some other of us are going to try to fill in and do what Paul has been doing, but those are big shoes to fill. Where's Angela? Angela will just wave her hand. There she is. She's back there. Angela has come on recently as kind of a Girl Friday, and as Jerry and I describe it, we get Angela to do all the things that we don't know how to do, don't want to do, or don't have time to do. So we appreciate that. And then Lucretia's right back there, my wife. She is the chair for our gala coming up on April 28th. And we look forward to another successful fundraising. But let me tell you just a little bit about Eastside Blossoms and how this whole project, why it's here. It was really came out of East Fort Worth, Inc. as a desire to provide economic and community development for the East Side. And so while it's a tool of that, the goal really was community and economic development. But it has done so much more, I think, than we had imagined, when we first got started, because it has become it's kind of a community movement. It has brought enthusiasm and interest from folks who live here, people who don't live here, and really has done more than just planting trees. And while we do have with 1,000 trees, that's somewhere in the neighborhood of 100,000 canopy feet when these trees are mature. There certainly is an economic benefit to people driving up and down and seeing how beautiful they are. We think there'll be an ecological benefit. We'll provide some of the critters with and pollinators with fruit and with blossoms and things to help that, and then help the cooling effect on the environment. But more than that, it really has been an opportunity to bring the community together. And so in that we have had volunteers. We simply couldn't have done this without volunteers. BBVA Compass Bank is here. You guys all wave. Nathan Loftus and BNSF have been great partners as well, including helping us plant the entryway to Gateway Park with 40 really nice big redbud trees, and then beginning on April 1st we'll put in the rest of the landscaping there and the irrigation to make that all really a special place to enter Gateway Park. And Nathan, we appreciate all that you and BNSF are doing with us. Thank you. We've had Boy Scout troops. We've had all kinds of folks that come and help to plant these things. So let me give you just a real brief thing. We recently have planted 50-something trees at Hanley Park. I think 40 or 50 trees at Mallard Cove, Quanah Parker Park. I don't know how many trees that is, Paul, but it was a lot.
95.
How many?
95.
95 trees in Quanah Parker Park. As I said, there's 40 at the entrance to Gateway, but we've also planted along the edges of Gateway Park. The more than just streets and roadways that get planted, but also public parks. And so I think that's a real neat deal. Some of the upcoming projects, we still have an opportunity to build kind of an honor wall and garden where we can have a place where people can place names on there for memory or honor of our loved ones or friends in perpetuity, and at the same time support planting trees. We're going to work with the city on the East First Street bridge. The old bridge that has now become a walk and bike bridge is going to be remodeled and turned into a real special place, and so we're going to work to see how we can be included in that. We have plans to put murals on some of these ugly concrete walls along Randol Mill Road, and then we will continue planting from Sylvania all the way down into the Fort Worth Central Business District to do that. So,
thank you, Danny. I've been city forester here in Fort Worth for 18 years. And during that time, I've had a lot of people come into my office with these pie-in-the-sky dreams of all this stuff that they're going to do. And after a while, you kind of take it with a grain of salt because most of them never really follow through. So when Jerry Barton called me and said, I'm going to plant thousands of trees down First Street, I said, sure, yeah, that's great, we'll help you. And I have to tell you, maybe 3 or 4 of those people that have come into my office in the past 18 years have actually followed through with their original vision. And not only has Eastside Blossoms followed through with their original vision, but they keep expanding that vision. I've been very impressed with their ability to get things done, the way they will hound you until you get them what they want. And that's just a great group of folks. And I think you can see as you drive down First Street and Randol Mill and 4th Street, what a legacy this is leaving for the city. And I'm very proud to be a very small part of it. Thank you very much.
now there's really nothing left, but we need to plant the 1,000th tree. And so I would like, if you would, Melinda and Sandra, and if you and Paul,
Howdy, my name is Nathan Joe Loftus. It's a beautiful Saturday out here in East Fort Worth. I'm proud to be here at Quanah Parker Park, planting trees as a volunteer with Eastside Blossoms.
My name is Melinda Adams, and I'm the City Forester for Fort Worth, and I'm very proud to be here today with Eastside Blossoms, who have planted their 1,000th flowering tree in East Fort Worth. If you haven't driven down Randol Mill on First Street, you really should, and see all the trees blooming right now. Eastside Blossoms is a great initiative. It's a nonprofit group, and they're going to plant another 1,000 trees in the next year or two. And if you'd like to help, we encourage you to look them up on the website, eastsideblossoms.org.
Thank you.